Now Shabbos, he says, I'm Be'er Alocha. So let's do the Be'er Alocha. Top Be'er Alocha on 277. I feel there Shabbos Yom Tiv. Losh ze mashma, dab Shabbos Yom Tiv, yesh dosh l'lasos king. The Rama says, there's a reason that the candle shouldn't be evidently intertwined. Ve'eno king. The B'Shabbos Yom Tiv, mitzvah lasos kruchim, kidleo simrei shamar gimel. There's a mitzvah that the candles be similar to a Havdalah candle. There's a whole idea like Shomer Zohar, that literally, it should be literally like one candle. Shomer Zohar. Right? We have two, one representing Shomer, the other representing Zohar. V'hiksher kain v'magad Avrom, v'ayim b'sov dvorov, l'fi mai demasuk b'shem marshal, de'osa b'nyonenu, afil b'shtei neros kruchim. Afil meila in shum biro divramo b'mashem mas, afil b'ner shabbos yom tiyesh l'zoyer. I'm pretty begor shagam hu nitchak mo divramo la nis daiti nire. The chosekam pratech on iskabor zerua. He says to understand the Ramah, he says there's something which has been deleted from the Ramah, but the Orzerua was a Rishon. It was one of Rishon who came from Vienna. The Hainu shebedapkin oson achad logoson ad she'al yidei hamischamus noflos. Hear this? What do? They take two candles, they light them separately, and then they melt them together. But because the heat becomes so intense, you know what happens? The whole candle just melts down. You have a meltdown. So the candle doesn't last. I mean, if you it's okay. It worked out with me? Yeah. Okay, Baruch Hashem. Okay. Okay. So he says because if you paste them together, the heat becomes so intense that the candle melts down. So you don't have a candle illuminating. The fire's going to go out, right? It's going to just melt down. So he says, they heat up, and the candle just falls, collapses. So Loshen Darki Moshe Madlikin ne Shabbos Chanukah Yom Tov Dovkin Nero Smuchen Zelozeh Chem Ischamos Zumis. Each candle heats the other candle. V'noteif Hashava, the wax begins dripping. Gam Nichpolos, they bend over, they fold over. V'noflos Lokima Mitzvah, because what's the value of Shabbos, Nero Shabbos? To provide light. It's not going to last. They're not going to provide light, lighting candles. The candle has to burn half an hour. So even though you have the candle by itself would burn that long, but if you do that, it's not going to last. So that's the reason. There's nothing wrong with having a double wick or that. Nothing wrong with that. Just factually. So therefore, let's say you have something like similar to a Kavdola candle, where they're intertwined. Right? Not for Chanukah, for Shabbos. Wouldn't be a problem. Wouldn't be a problem. He says, and to prove that what I'm saying is correct, Rama or Zerua, because the Rama over here, if you look in the parentheses, what does he say? What is the basis for his position? You should know Ayin Zayin, that's or Zerua. So he says, so if you go look in the or Zerua, it's not because you have a double wick or whatever. It has nothing to do with this. It's because the or Zerua says explicitly, Halidin Rishon Lo Niska Klab or Zerua Eladin Zeh. This is what it is. It's not you shouldn't have wicks next to one another. It's because, as he says, because when you glue them, when you paste them together, it's going to increase the heat, and the candle ultimately is going to fall over, and it's going to extinguish itself. He's talking about Shabbos and Yom Tov. No, he's talking Shabbos and Yom Tov. Chanukah, well, also it's also, it's a bracha levatollah. It's not going to burn a half an hour. No, you're talking fire hazard. What are you? Not extinguish it. We're not afraid of a fire. It's supposed to provide light. It's not going to provide light. You have a certain candle that's going to burn so many hours. Within a short period of time, it's melt down. You're going to have nothing. Just going to have a heap of wax. That's what you're going to have. We have two sets of tablets. There's a difference. One says Zohar, one says Shomer. You don't have 2 wicks. You don't have 2 wicks for one candle. No, he says it's okay. No, not 2 wicks. They would like Havdalah candles intertwined. Not 2 wicks, 2 candles. Each candle has 1 wick. It's like one candle, and then the wicks come up separately. One wick is Zohar, and the other wick is Shomer. That's what it is. It's not intertwined that it's 1 wick. It's the candles intertwined. So it's 2 candles as one, because both candles represent Shabbos. And then you have 2 wicks on top. Wick A is Zohar, wick B is Shomer. Same thing as 2 candles. He says that was the minhag then. But he says, but if you do it, if you have it heats up and it melts down, then you're defeating the whole purpose. Okay? Now, we also like to. Of course, also Shabbos and Yom Tov are connected. Yom Tov is also called Shabbos. Right. Well, it all begins with Zohar v'Shomer. Okay. Chanukah meinicho al Pesach hasom Rosh Hashanah. Now, where do you put it? If the whole idea is presuming Yisro to publicize the miracle, so we have the people where they walk, you're in a courtyard where nobody sees it. You're not exactly putting it in a place where you're publicizing the Nes. So you put it, the entrance, which is closest to the public thoroughfare. This has nothing to do with Shabbos Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah means the public thoroughfare. Mibachutz, the Mechaber says it should be outside the house. Outside the house. Ima bayis besuch Rosh Hashanah, that's only if the house is on the edge of a public thorough area. Let's say your house is on a cul-de-sac and it's the back. So what are you supposed to do? It's really, you have the few houses there. Rosh Hashanah could be a half a block till you get to the main street. She says, if it's on the Rosh Hashanah and you have an entrance, that's where you should put it to maximize to make it public. Let's say you have a courtyard. In those days, you have a house, you have a courtyard, and then eventually you get to where you had an alleyway, and then you had the Rosh Hashanah. You put it not at the entrance of the house, the Pesach entrance to the courtyard leading to the house. What happens if you live on a second story? Right? So the entrance is not identified as the first entrance you walk in, it's the ground level. You live on the second story. The house is on Rosh Hashanah, but the door downstairs, that's not the doorways to the downstairs. So you put it in the window which faces Rosh Hashanah. What about it's a question of danger? You have anti-Semites, they can throw stones through your window, right? Or Shas, the Gemara said, they forbade, they didn't allow you to light Shabbos do mitzvahs. So what do? You light it on your table. You don't put it in the window, you don't put it in the entrance, so who knows it's burning? Just your family, you and your family. Because we'll see in a moment, let's say you live all by yourself, there's nobody but yourself. No, it's not good enough. But you have to add another candle because there's a concern you may actually, if it's in the house, the light, you're illuminating the house. So if the only light burning is the Chanukah light, you're not permitted to benefit from it, right? What about if you have a Medura, you have a multi-wicked candle burning besides that, and it's tzorch ner acher, because you have another source. So really, we have electric lights. You don't have to have a shamas, right? Because the light that you attribute to, you don't say it's coming from the Hanukkah menorah, right? It's coming from the electric light. So over there also, if you had a torch burning or a lantern, you don't have to have an additional candle. What about your Odom Choshev? In those days, an Odom Choshev, a person of status, he would use a more refined light. That was like one wick candle. He wouldn't use the light of a very large torch. For him, you would need a ner acher. So today, where there's no such thing, electric lights provides light for everyone. So there's no reason why you would need a shamas. There's no reason. Happens that's what menorah is made. You have a shamas. But la locha, if you need that extra candle just to waste it, there's no reason to light the shamas.
What if you have a
And the window faces Rosh Hashanah.
Well, there's two windows. Your living room, dining room is facing into the courtyard. The house is on the side windows. There are windows that face to the main street, and you're lighting multiple menorahs to children, whatever. Would it be inappropriate to light it in both directions?
The question is, what's the better choice? If your opinion that each individual has the obligation, so that means it's not, well, we have already menorahs there. That's your menorah. It's not my menorah. So that I put it in the best place where I could put it. Seemingly, the best place to put it would be Rosh Hashanah. Wherever you have the most traffic. Let's say you live in this, the only place you live, it may be on a road, but the road is a 45-mile-an-hour road, 50-mile road. So people drive by. They don't even look. They don't notice anything when they drive by. But in the cul-de-sac, when people come home, they notice menorahs in the window. They notice the lights. So then I would say definitely you put it facing the cul-de-sac, not facing the road. The road has no relevance. It's a minhag, or it's for aesthetic. Beautifies the mitzvah. That's all. No, because let's say you're really short on it. You're short on oil, you're short on candles. Right? There's no reason to put a shamas in. Okay, let's see the Mishna Berura. Mi bachutz, why do you put the candles outside? You should pursue Yisro. The converse was also Kates in Abayis. Mieshlo chutz tefnei Abayis, hachatzer sehu psuchos rabim. Their courtyards open onto Rosh Hashanah. It says that when you put it at the entrance of the courtyard, actually it's facing the public thoroughfare. She'ein lo pes psuchos rabim, gam ein lo pes psuch l'chotzer. El psucha hi l'bayis. See, you hear what it is. Evidently, it's an interesting type of situation. If you have a multi-storied house, and you have you walk in, which is the ground floor hallway, then you have multiple apartments, then you go to the upper floors. I mean, the entrance on the ground floor is the entrance to the upper floors, right? I mean, all the people live in the building. That's how they go upstairs. This is their entrance. So it seems to be, says, She'ein lo pes b'suchotz el psuchi l'boyis. Meaning, you go in. When you go into the house through the entrance, you go to the right, to the left, it's the person living downstairs. In his apartment, where he lives, there's a doorway that you could go to the upper level. You understand? So it's not like the way we have it. You have a hallway, which is considered a communal domain. You go into the apartment, into the residence downstairs, it's the lower person's residence. There's a door in his residence that you're able to go upstairs. Because otherwise, the doorway of entry is the second story person's doorway. It's the ground floor person's doorway. Same thing, and that's the way he explains it. His pesach opens into the house. So you go into his house, then you go upstairs, right? Im Mishna Berura, he has this multi-wicked light, torch. So that indicates that the ner is ner mitzvah. Today it's not so simple, with Shabbos candles. What do you like Shabbos candles? To provide light. Shalom bayis, right? Because you can't live. So if that's the case, let's say when you light the Shabbos candles, the electric lights are on. So is it providing light? It's meaningless. It's purely almost like ornamental. That's all it is. It's to create a feeling, an atmosphere, but it's not really. It's not providing light. So some say that really, even though that's not the minhag, that when you light the Shabbos candles, originally when you light them, the light should be off. Should be off. So therefore, this is the source that's going to provide light. Then afterwards, you put the lights on afterwards. Well, somebody else has to do it. No, not a man. A man's the lighting of the candles is the woman. The man, yeah, right. Right. That's what you'd have to do. Factually, very few people do this. No, but I'm saying, but if you follow the logic and the reasoning and the rationale of Shabbos candles, I'm doing something to provide light. That's what I'm lighting. That's the mitzvah.
Maybe in the summer.
No, 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 no. No, 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 no. The lights are on. Okay? No, no.
7 o'clock, it's daylight. You should have an hour before the electrician.
Let's say the lights are off and the shades are closed in the house.
No, okay, so let's suppose that you...
But still, even if no, first of all, when you accept Shabbos Friday in the summertime, went out to high noon, the sun already is in setting mode. Setting. It's not late. When you walk into a room, then do you put the lights on? In the room that you're going to eat. If you're going to eat in that room, would you put the lights on? Because it's considered it's not really light in the room. Even the light's filtering in, you put lights on because it illuminates the location. Right? But if you have electric lights on, what do the candles provide other than just a feeling of Shabbos? Nothing. Or a certain other feeling. Nothing. No, it's no. It's not. It's to provide light. Shalom Bayis is to provide light. You can't live in the dark. People live in the dark, right? No. The myth, they said you have to light lights. I mean, what's the halacha if you don't have candles? What do? You could use electric lights, but it has to be incandescent, right? You could. But it's better to use a candle that has like a real wick. You're lighting the wick. Okay? That's what we do. But factually, if you have no choice, you do this. If you have electric light, what is the... So what you do is, David, you could do this. Work it out. Rav Moshe Sternbach says this. Before you shut off both lights, you shut off electric lights, when does the woman say the bracha? Lat Ner Shel Shabbos. Right? She first lights, and then she covers her eyes not to benefit from the light. And then she says the bracha, right? So what you do is you shut both, there are no lights on. You put the electric lights on, you light the candles. Both, simultaneously, one after another, sequentially. Then you say the bracha. And when you say the bracha, it's going both. The candle, you lit the candle and electric lights. What happens if you light 15 candles, right? Same thing. So you have multiple lights. So the bracha you're saying is going on both. On the illumination that you just created. That's what's going on. So you don't leave the lights on. You shut the light first before you light. Then you put on the electric lights and you light the candelabra. You light the candles. Then you say the bracha lat. Right, everything else. Right, correct. No, that's nothing. Yeah, but most people when they travel, you light too. Everybody, if they're not at home, they light too.